They told you love was service, but did they also tell you it was at the cost of making yourself the offering? In the sixth house, Venus carries the memory of beauty turned into duty, where affection and approval were tied to how much you did, how much you fixed, and how much you gave. Welcome back, beautiful ones. This is Venus Through the Houses, and today we're stepping into the sixth house, the realm of service, health, devotion, and daily rituals. And here is the symbol for Venus. If you have this symbol in this house, I'm talking to you. When Venus lives here, love and beauty intertwine with the ordinary rhythms of life. The meals cooked, the care offered, the endless small task. But behind that devotion often lives a wound. Am I only lovable when I am useful? And if this is your first time joining the Venus series, make sure you go back and watch episode 1. I'm going to leave it right here. This is where we explore who Venus really is and how she shapes your story and why her placement in the houses matters so deeply. That foundation will help everything we talk about today land even more powerfully. So stay with me because in this episode, we're going to uncover that wound, we're going to trace its distortion, and then reclaim the sacred devotion Venus always intended here. So tell me, have you ever felt like love only came after you'd proven your worth? When Venus is in the sixth house, there is a wound that often forms in the hidden contracts of childhood. You know, it's the smile you received only after chores were done. It's the affection that came after you fixed, helped, or behaved perfectly. It's the praise tied to being useful, quiet, or competent. And somewhere along the way, you learn this equation: love equals labor, worth equals service, and safety equals perfection. So you started to polish yourself into the helper, the healer, the one who carries the weight. But beneath that careful tending, the question still lingers. If I stop fixing, would they still love me? This is the house beauty wound, where your natural devotion was confused with obligation, and where love began to feel like a wage you had to earn. So, what happens when love turns into a job description? Let's talk about the distortion. When the sixth house wound carries forward, Venus begins to distort love into endless service. You might notice yourself giving and giving and giving, always anticipating what others need, always stepping in to fix, always smoothing the edges before anyone asks. On the outside, it looks like devotion, but on the inside, it feels like depletion. Because the story becomes, if I don't carry it all, no one will stay. Love turns into a checklist. Relationships start to feel transactional. And even your creativity or beauty may get tangled into perfectionism. It has to be flawless or it doesn't count. Am I right? The cruel twist is this: the more you serve from obligation, the less love you feel. Instead of connection, there's exhaustion. Instead of intimacy, there's imbalance. This is the distortion of Venus in the sixth house. When devotion is drained of joy and becomes duty. When love is mistaken for labor. And when worth is measured by sacrifice. So, what if your worth was never measured in what you do, but who you are? Let's talk about reclaiming Venus. Venus in the sixth house comes to remind you love is not a paycheck, Devotion is not a debt. The wound said, you are lovable only when you serve. The distortion said, keep proving, keep perfecting, keep giving, or they'll leave. But the truth is much simpler and softer. Your presence is already medicine. Your care is already sacred. Your worth has never been up for negotiation. The reclamation begins the moment you allow service to flow from love, not for love. When you cook or clean or heal or tend, not because you fear being unworthy, but because these acts are your prayer, your artistry, your devotion. Perfection isn't required here. What's required is your presence. Obligation isn't holy. Overflow is. And the more you remember this, the more Venus in the sixth house shifts from chains of service into a rhythm of sacred devotion, where love no longer costs you everything, but instead nourishes you too. So open your heart as I ask you this question. What if every act of care was meant to nourish you too? When Venus moves into her higher octave in the sixth house, love transforms from duty into devotion. This is where the ordinary becomes holy. Folding laundry becomes a meditation. Cooking a meal becomes an offering. Caring for a partner, a child, or even your own body becomes an act of sacred reciprocity. The difference? You're no longer giving from depletion. You're giving from overflow. Your devotion no longer empties you. It fills you because it's rooted in choice, not fear. Here, Venus teaches that love doesn't live only in grand gestures. It lives in the daily rhythms, in the quiet acts, in the rituals that hold life together. When those acts are infused with presence, they stop being chores and start becoming ceremonies. Venus in the sixth house asks you to remember your service is not meant to erase you. It's meant to embody you, to make love visible in the small, constant ways that shape a life, your life. So, beautiful one, let me leave you with this. Venus in the sixth house is not here to make you a servant of love. She is here to remind you that devotion is sacred, but it was never meant to cost you your worth. The wound may have told you that you are only lovable when you're useful, and the distortion may have convinced you that love is something you must perfect, polish, or labor for. But the truth is, you are not loved for what you do. You are loved because you are. So let your service be chosen, not coerced. Let your rituals feed you, not drain you. Let your love move like water, steady, nourishing, flowing both ways. Because Venus in the sixth house doesn't want you chained to obligation. She wants you rooted in devotion, where the sacred shows up in every small act, and where love becomes a rhythm that heals you as much as it heals others. Now, if you're ready to explore how service, healing, and devotion weave into your large destiny, go watch my Soul's Path North Node. I just finished that a week ago, or a couple of weeks ago. The North Node in the sixth house episode and its mirror, the North Node in the 12th house. Together, they reveal how souls balance duty and surrender. And I will put one here, and then I'll put the other one at the end of this video. And beautiful ones, don't forget, YouTube just added the new hype feature. If this message nourished you, please hype this video. Every hype pushes it out further. helping more souls like you find what they've been waiting to remember. Until next time.